We're really excited about our class. We got some key players. We got some really good big men, I thought, especially offensive linemen. We got some good receivers. We still have some slots to fill, but we're really excited about the start. Signed 17 guys.
It seemed like you guys worked pretty quickly today. Like you guys weren't waiting too long for guys, and I believe most of the guys signed before 9 a.m. today.
Yeah, we didn't wait too long on any of them that I can think of.
Can you talk about the holes where maybe feel like you still want to add one or two guys before February or?
We need more DBs. I think is one of our biggest areas overall would be defensive backs, but and looking for another D lineman.
Do you guys want more corners specifically, or does it matter between corners or safeties because you guys can kind of flip them back and forth once they get here?
Yeah, but we need we want speed at those positions.
And then on the offensive line, you guys signed five more, but I believe you guys are going to be losing. I think the 4 to 5 offensive linemen over the next couple of years. Is it really important to kind of start to build depth there and start to kind of build for the future?
Yeah, no question. And I thought we really got a good core group there. We're pretty balanced as far as this number leaves, and then we add the same number pretty much.
Are those guys all guys that kind of project well, but you still probably want to put some weight on them, put 40 to 50 pounds on most of those guys before they start to make the rotation.
Well, they've got to marinate in the weight room for a little while, no question.
Can you kind of talk about the job that Mason Miller's done with that, and especially the strength staff is putting weight on guys like Andre Dillard and Abe Lucas and pretty much everyone who's come in here needing to add weight that they pretty much have?
I think our strength staff's done a tremendous job as far as conditioning and putting weight on these guys. Also developing speed, and then Mason's done a really good job coaching and recruiting that group.
Do any one of those O-linemen stand out over the others, or are they all pretty even?
I think they're pretty close. They're all good, I think. It's difficult to say till we get here.
What stands out about Jaden Delora, the quarterback you guys signed?
Does a good job creating things. He's accurate, energizes the offensive unit, and is good on the move, throwing the ball, and also can take off if he needs to. And then he just had such a great career there at St. Louis High.
Were you guys surprised more Power 5 or Pac-12 programs hadn't really identified him before you guys got there, because he does play for such a good program over there at St. Louis?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I don't know. We thought he was a really good player. I didn't really pay much attention to what the other Power 5s thought. Really haven't cared in the past, so I don't really care now.
Did you go over there to see Jaden, or was it mostly Coach Mealy that's been?
No, I'll go over there after the first of the year.
And then Joey Hobart too. He seems like a guy who could probably help you guys out pretty soon with all he does as far as being a receiver. And then think he returned kicks and punts for touchdowns. Can you talk about him too?
Dynamic receiver with pretty decent size at the position, and explodes out of his cuts.
Did you pay him a home visit too, or are you still waiting to do that?
No, most of them have to be after the first of the year.
Have you spoken with his dad, who obviously is a pretty prominent UW quarterback, and I believe he kind of made some jokes about his son playing for the Cougars and him obviously being a Husky?
When he was up here, yeah, it was great to have him here and, to see him.
Was his dad wearing crimson or purple or neutral?
I can't remember. I really don't remember. It was a pretty crimson weekend, though.
Mike, some prominent schools got on Delora fairly late. Did you have to double down on him, or was there any wavering at all?
We didn't waver. And he committed, and he's got a lot of integrity. So we were pretty confident that he'd stick with it.
And can you talk a little bit about Marquise Freeman? I think that one may have surprised some people today.
Well, we'd been on him from the beginning. And then we had an opening, and we're really excited to have him. As a matter of fact, because we thought he was explosive and dynamic from the start, and and then but then when we got the opening, we jumped on him and got him today.
it was so far 100% high school signings as opposed to JCs. Is that just the way it fell this particular signing period, or was that a point of emphasis?
That was a point of emphasis. We don't ignore JCs as far as a resource, and we've had some really good ones play here. But given the choice, we'd prefer a high school kid that you get longer and you can develop in what we do here.
I think you guys have also recruited a lineman from the state of Washington in the last five classes. Well, why do you think the state kind of produces so many good O linemen? You guys can always kind of go back to the West Side or Central Washington to find a guy.
A lot of big kids here. Washington has a lot of big kids, and then they also keep growing. And we've really had good luck with offensive linemen out of the state of Washington.
I think Mason said that this morning that the guys in Washington are generally taller than other states. Do you kind of agree with that too, or is it big and tall? Or
I think they definitely are. I think that they are big and tall, and I think that I think relatively speaking, and so we've had good luck finding big people from Washington.
did you have any memorable home visits or any notable meals or anything like that really kind of stand out?
The home visits, it kind of runs together as a blur, because you're traveling all the time, but just a lot of really great families and people very supportive of their sons, and and you can see why. I think this is a very high character class, and I think that's a result of some great parents.
Talent-wise, do you think it compares to your other classes the past 3 or 4 years? And I know people like to look at the stars and everything, but just from your vantage point, do you think it kind of compares pretty well?
I ignore the stars. The bigger the media base, the more stars you get. So there's no sense in worrying about that because we don't really ask the media what plays we should run. Of course, they don't ask me what articles they should write either. So, but I think that it is a good class. We'll know better in 2 years, but we think it's a really good incoming class. One of the best we've had here.
What do you like about the running back, Marshawn Buchanan? He seems like a guy who can catch pretty well and also a really good runner too.
Pretty good size. He's going to be pretty big. The other thing, he's real dynamic as far as getting in and out of his cuts. I think he's fast and also catches the ball well.